Hi, I'm Jim Knotts, President and CEO of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund. Welcome to today's virtual reading of the names. 2022 marks the 40th anniversary of the dedication of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. As part of our commemoration, we'll host an in-person reading of the names at the wall from November 7th through 10th, 2022, when all 58,281 names on the wall will be read aloud. In the lead up to that event, we'll be reading names each day online while sharing the photos of these heroes. For our daily virtual reading, the names of the service members will be read by month and day of death between the years 1956 and 1975 in alphabetical order for the given day. We apologize in advance for any mispronunciations. Know that our readers are doing their best to honor these service members. We hope you'll listen and watch each day and share with others as we remember and honor those who gave their lives during the Vietnam War.
Frank Houston Adams, William John Alum, Stephen Ray Anderson, Ronald Stanley Anderson, Ronnie Edwards Ashe, Sherman Avant, Alphonse Aloysi Bankowski, Kenneth Ray Barkley, Tommy Lee Barnes, Norman Elmer Beck, Stephen Allen Bell, Roland Robert Bellamy, Michael Lewis Berry, Ronald Eugene Bond, John Joseph Breyer, Steve Eugene Byers, Alanson Garland Bynum, Richard Anthony Carullo, Juan Jose Castro, Roy Warner Chamberlain Jr., Rex Fillmore Church, Larry Jack Clanton, Donald E. Clark Jr., Randall Earl Cole, Larry James Conklin, Paul Amos Conroy Jr., Ronnie Charles Curtin, Kevin Melbourne Daly, Robert Charles Davis, Clarence Dawkins Jr., Clyde Dwayne Dawson, Harold Ray Dolans, Bienvenido Geneza Dona, Thomas Edward Donovan, Vernon Leroy Downs Jr., Richard Francis Dunham, Paul Lionel Durand, Eddie Lee Evanson, John Andrew Ewart, Howard Kim Fitzgerald, Isaiah Foster, Paul John Fody, Ian Jack Franks, John Luther Fuller Jr., Alfred Funk, Percy Charles Gagnon, Frederick Thomas Garside, Jesse James Garth, Wayne Oliver Gay, Michael Arthur Gale, Jerry Harold Georges, Charles William Green, Euless Fay Gregory, Harold Leland Hale, Billy Joe Hammond, Michael Paul Harris, Masaki Hattori, John Dietrich Hines, Charles Drayton Henricks, Samuel Eugene Hewitt, Dennis Michael Hodeling, Roy Lee Howard, Richard David Hulse, Ronald Wayne Hurt,
James Terry Jackson, Raymond Robert Jordan, Robert Adam Kaneski, Jeffrey Charles Keedle, John Terrence King, George Paul King, James Morton Klein, James Eugene Laird, Donald Francis Landers, Michael D. Lawrence, Fred Stanley Lee, Leroy Edward Leonard, Thomas Lee Lewis, Ralph Wayne McGee, Glenn Madison, Frank Ralph Mell, Jr., Howard Michael Moot, John Lee Morris, Robert Dean Morris, Bill Arthur Machete, Gregory Eugene Newman, Jerome Nixon, Donald Keith Osborne, Robert Allen Osborne, Raymond Earl Ott, Leonard Outlaw, David Dwayne Overstreet, Scott Kenton Pardee, Robert Lee Pate III, Edward Wesley Pulowski, Randall Lawrence Perry, Carl Harmon Peters, Jr., Jerry Lee Peterson, Jerry Alfred Phillips, William Ronald Phillips, Dennis Stanley Pike, William Iffel Perkle, Andrew Lee Presley, Jr., Jeffrey Iglesias Quintanilla, James Thomas Reddington, Thomas York Reynolds, John Scott Rick, Lance Allen Robinson, Joseph Michael Romero, Raymond Adam Ryko, Leslie Fern Sampson, Isaiah Samuels, Ronald Allen Sapp, Joe A. Sacita, William Michael Saunders, William Leroy Schell, Michael Douglas Schultz, Leon Sears, Warren Paul Sewell, Edward Alva Chirac, Leo Brian Smith, Elijah Henry Smith, Johnny Lee Smith, Max Paul Starkle, Allie Oakley Stevens, Thomas Michael Strutchen, Edmund Lawrence Sudler, Tommy Herman Swain, John Stephen Zamansky, John Bethel Tapp, William Eugene Taylor, Danny Eugene Tucker, Thomas Dwayne Utter, Louis Bernard Weiner II, Manasseh Brock Warren, Edgar Wilkin Whitecamp, Jr., Oscar Branch Weston, Jr., James Edward Witt, Robert Franklin Witten, James Wesley Wittis, Jr., Levester Lee Williams, John Robert Yarger, Gordon Lee Zimmerly,